Hello everyone, Effie here. Today I'm going to do a rundown of our fall 2023 release. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this release. We have about 6 new main layering stencils and 4 new stamps to show you. We also have some more basic type of stencils that are like 1 or 2 layers, and I'm going to show you all of those at the end of the video. But everything is available to ship immediately. Everything's available on the website to order, with the exception of 2 dies, and I'll explain in the video which ones they are. First up, I want to introduce a new product to our shop, and that is our new grip mats. We have 2 sizes available, 6 by 7 inches and 7 by 9 inches. You can use these with layering stencils, and I use the smaller 6 by 7 inch in some of our videos already. So these are sticky photopolymer mats that you can use for your stenciling, but also for your stamping as well. So when you're blending, you can just place your cardstock onto your grip mat, and then you can place any stencil over your cardstock and stick it right onto the grip mat. And you can see here that it is very grippy. So both mats are available for purchase and available to ship immediately. Let's get into our release. First up is our Climbing Hibiscus layering stencils. There are 4 stencils in this collection. You have 3 petal layers and then 1 foliage layer. On each stencil, you have some etchings on the actual stencil. So you can see the nice big one, you can see some instructions, the name of the stencil, and our website. And all of the stencils are etched just like that. When you blend all 4 stencils, this is the end result. Look how beautiful, detailed, and gorgeous this is. Obviously, this is also die cut, so we do have a coordinating die for this set, but we also have a coordinating stamp, which is called our Coming Up Hibiscus. And there's also 1 sentiment in the set. You have the 1 coordinating die for the floral clusters, and you also have this die that'll cut out the Sending Best Wishes sentiment in the stamp set. So this die coordinates with both the stencil and the stamp. You can also use both stamp and stencils together, or you can use them separately as standalone products. But for this card, I heat embossed the stamp and then I blended the stencils right over the heat embossed image. The sentiment is from the stamp set, and then the background that you see, that's from a previous release. It's just our diamond plaid layering background dies. And then I just use some of our rhinestones to add some embellishment. Next up is our mid hibiscus layering stencils. There are 3 stencils in this set. You have 2 stencils for the first 2 layers, and then on the 3rd layer, the center etched area of stencil 3, that's layer number 3 of the petals. But then you have a pair of leaves on the 2 corners of the stencil. There was so much space on the stencil when I designed this set, so I added the leaves as an addition. So this is what the mid hibiscus looks like when you die cut it. We also have a coordinating stamp called the Blooming Hibiscus. This set coordinates with the stencil set. You have the large floral and the 2 leaves, 3 sentiments, and then the coordinating die for both stamp and stencils. You have the larger die that will cut out the floral, and then 1 die that'll cut out both leaves. And then the 3 additional dies in this set will cut out the 3 sentiments in the Blooming Hibiscus stamp set. And here's a card that I created with both the stamp and the layered stencils. I started off by stamping the image first in our noir dye black ink, and then I use the layered stencils right over the stamped image, and I just use a combination of some of our yellow and our orange inks. If you've been asking for hibiscus flowers, this is the release for you, because here is our jumbo hibiscus layering stencils. It's essentially the same design as the mid hibiscus, just bigger. So again, you have 3 stencils for the petal layers. You have the first 2 layers that'll take up most of the first 2 stencils, and then the 3rd layer, you have the petal layer right in the center, and then some additional leaves. So here is what the jumbo hibiscus looks like when you stencil and die cut, and then we have coordinating dies for this set as well. You have 1 die for the petals and then 1 die for the 2 leaves. And here is a side-by-side comparison of the mid and jumbo hibiscus. The mid hibiscus is great for A2 size cards, and then the jumbo hibiscus is just jumbo. It's really big. So here's an A2 card panel, so you can see that the mid hibiscus is perfect for your smaller A2 size cards. And here is what the jumbo hibiscus looks like against an A2 panel. You can tell that it is really large. You can crop off the petals, or you can use it on a larger size card or on scrapbooking projects. Also, there is no coordinating stamp set for the jumbo hibiscus. Next up is our abstract clouds stencil set. This is not really a layering set, but it is a 3-piece stencil set because you get the 2 inner pieces of the clouds, and then you also get the outer negative piece, and you can use all 3 pieces in creating really awesome cloud background design. So this panel was created by using the 2 inner pieces, and then the panel on the right was created using a combination of all 3 pieces, both the inner pieces and the negative piece. I have a YouTube short that I created, so you can find that in the shorts section of our channel. And for these 2 panels here, I used our new abstract cloud stencils with our new sun rays layering stencil. These are 6 by 6 inch stencils. You have 1 layer for the thicker rays and then 1 layer for the thinner rays. And here's a panel just showcasing the layered sun ray set. Next up is our Easy Expressions Just Because photopolymer set. This is a 6 by 6 inch set. So if you're a fan of our Easy Expressions collections, you kind of need this one in your set because if you have a card that you just made and it's so pretty, but it's not really an occasion, it's not anyone's birthday, but you just made a card and you want to send it to someone, this is a great set to send. This is a great set to add to your stash because you can just cut out just because sentiments and then send cards to all your loved ones and friends. So you have 2 large stamps in this set with strategic layering marks that are patent pending. After you stamp both stamps, you get something like this and 1 coordinating die that's going to cut out everything in 1 single shot. So this is what the die cuts look like. Aren't these so cool? This set was actually a suggestion from a customer, so I thank you. You know who you are. I made this just for you. And let's begin with our Christmas stencils. This is our new vintage Santa layering stencils. There are 6 stencils in this collection. I already posted a layering video on our YouTube channel, so if you haven't watched it already, check that out for the layering tutorial. So there are 6 layers in this set. The first 2 layers are Santa's suit. There are also Santa's eyes on those first 2 layers. Stencil 3 is his beard. And then stencils 4, 5, and 6 are Santa's skin tones. For stencil 6, you also have the background. Once you blend all 6 stencils, you're left with a blended image that measures approximately 4.4 inches by 5.5 inches. You can see that panel on the left. That's how big your blended panel will be. But you can just trim off the edges just a little bit on each edge. And these 2 panels are A2 size. So I will have a die that's going to cut out that outline background. This is one of the dies that are delayed. So the die is going to be available in about 2 weeks. So be sure to stay tuned to our social media for that announcement. Next up is our Poinsettias Unlocked layering stencils. There are 4 stencils in this collection. You have 3 larger layers or stencils for the petals and then 1 smaller stencil. And this smaller stencil is used for the poinsettia centers. The top part you're going to layer with light green, and then the bottom portion of that smaller stencil will be used to add a little detail to the poinsettia centers, and you can use dark green for the bottom portion of that smaller stencil. So this is the coordinating die for the Poinsettias Unlocked. It's 1 single die, and it's going to cut out all 6 poinsettias in 1 single shot. And here are just a few die cuts that I have. I have them in green because you can use the same layers for your foliage. So here, what you can do is blend the first 2 petal layers in green. You can cut the die cuts in half and then tuck them behind your pink or red poinsettias and use the same images as the foliage. And here's my Santa card, and I just have a border of our Poinsettias Unlocked. Next up is our Good Tidings sentiment set. This is a 6 by 6 inch photopolymer set. You have 3 larger main sentiments, and then you have 6 more simple basic sentiment strip type stamps right here on the upper right corner. And then you have 3 snowflakes in the set, Santa's sleigh with his reindeer, and then 2 silhouette tree stamps. This set is actually a follow-up to a similar Halloween set that I designed last year. We had such a great reception to the Halloween Wishes set, but not a lot of people send Halloween cards. So a lot of people asked me to create a similar style stamp set, but Christmas themed. So here is my answer to that. I hope you guys love this set. Coordinating dies for the sentiment set will be available in about 2.5 weeks. So this is one of the sets that's delayed. When we get them in, we will make an announcement probably on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, so stay tuned. So here are 3 of our jumbo snowflake stencils. What is cool about these sets is that you get the inner positive piece and then you have the outer negative piece. This is Snowflake 1, this is Jumbo Snowflake 2, and this is Jumbo Snowflake 3. And 3 quick samples that I created with the Jumbo Snowflake stencils. These are all A2 panel. So these jumbo snowflake stencils are pretty large, both the inner piece and the negative outer piece. So the blue panel you see here, that's an A2 size panel. So you can see that the stencils are much larger than the panel. If you're looking for something smaller, maybe skip over this portion of the video. But if you're looking for the snowflake stencils generally, just double check the measurements on the product page on our website for these stencils, just to make sure that this is what you're looking for, because these are larger than normal. Next up is our simple snow stencil. It's slightly smaller than 6 by 6 inches, and here you can see I just used some embossing paste and our jumbo snowflake 2. Next up is our super moon layering stencils. You actually get 3 pieces with this set. You get the first open moon stencil, you get the inner piece, and then the second layer. For that open circle, I use a light yellow. For the second layer, I use a light gray. And for the circle stencil, you can use that as a mask to create a dark halo around your supermoon. And the clouds that you see here, that's our abstract clouds. And then for the bats, I created a flying bat stencil as well to go with the supermoon. I also created a tree branch stencil that you can use with the super moon set. You can blend the tree branches in front of the moon and then maybe blend some bats upside down. And then I created some rectangular window stencils. You get both sizes in the pack. You also get the inner pieces, and what I use these for is to create a blended window on a card panel, and it's easier to create a more simple one-layered card by using this as your base. So that is all for our fall 2023 release. Let me know in the comments which product in this release is your favorite, and don't forget guys, everything in this release is available for purchase and to ship immediately, with the exception of the Vintage Santa and the Good Tidings coordinating dies. Be sure to stay tuned to our social media for the announcement on when those become available. But give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next time.